With this short little video, I'm gonna just be kind of blunt in what I say. And by blunt, I'm not gonna be using profanity in that sense of being blunt, but I'm gonna be blunt in the sense of just trying to point out some things that I consider to be BS, you know? Growing up, we're told, from childhood that, you should be honest. You should be, upfront with what's going on. And, that's nice. That's a nice thing or virtue, whatever you want to call it, to have or to instill in young people, But then as they get older and they tell you what is on their mind in a blunt way, then the very people that told them, hey, you should be honest about what's going on, then they get all ticked off and get on that kid's case. And then it's like, well, what the F, Because one moment, you're telling them, hey, you should be honest. You should tell people, what's going on. And then when you tell said people what is on your mind, and said people get all goofy and, to use this particular term, butthurt, It's like, well, and I guess that's like another thing, with special needs people. And again, it's like, high functioning end, but, spectrum is spectrum, For me, it's like, I think why some people like special needs people at the same time, while some probably don't, is because we're, very honest in what we say if we feel okay with, that particular person that's in front of us. Or over the phone or whatever method of communication we happen to be using at the time. So in that instance, people will like us for our honesty. But at the same time, people get all goofy about us being honest and say like, oh, we're being rude, we're being this, we're being that, Oh, they should have more respect for people. Sweetheart, you're the one that was championing us for being, honest since childhood. Don't spin don't spin the metaphorical middle finger and point it and saying, hey, look at what this person's doing. Look at what they are doing, It's like, well, darling, it's just people are kind of hypocritical. And it's the whole phenomenon of being a cherry picker in one's beliefs and morals, whether that be, of a spiritual sense, which that's a whole nother crap show of a video. It would take much longer than what one would want to go off on. But, people are like, oh, you should be yourself, you should be this, you should be that. But the moment you start actually doing that is when people get weird, It's like, well, excuse me for being a C word that rhymes with blunt, but if someone's gonna be pulling a stunt, saying, "Oh, you should be this," you should be this particular way, and the moment we are that particular way, people start acting goofy. Then you can stop being the runt of this particular litter of human existence and, scurry about your ways. So in all honesty, I'm not trying to say, don't be gross to these people. But at the same time, if you're gonna say, be a particular way, and then you get all weird about someone being that particular way, then obviously there's a problem with that, because, like I've said probably multiple times already in this little video, people get weird about that. And, no, being who I am, I think I'm kind of like a mutt. And I'm not saying mutt in a derogatory or nasty way. I mean, it's like, growing up, it's like, you never quote unquote fit in with like the school crowd growing up, or like the church crowd, or crap, even I'll go as far as saying like the special needs community too, because within those specific groups, you're supposed to be this particular person, you're supposed to think this particular way, you're supposed to do this. And with high functioning people, because there's also people within the special needs community that are high functioning, people talk to us like we're dip, fill in the blank with that, and that's kind of crap, because it's like, just because we're a particular way, special needs, or who we, what have you, it doesn't mean we're gonna be that particular way. And it's like, everything is diverse, and I know there's always gonna be a couple morons that want it to be this particular way, and if you do it any other way, you're wrong. And it's like, with this particular year and all the crap that's been going on, you haven't been hearing too much BS in that regard. I mean, you've heard a lot of other BS from others, that's for sure, but, it's like, I am who I am, and if that's a problem, then there's a load of other people you can go and whine to, because the only whine that I want to hear is the stuff that ends up getting poured into a glass. Regardless of who you are, like what have you. And to keep this from going on into the double digits as far as time and length goes, that's about it. Peace out.